been a minute. It has been a hot minute since you and I have sat and spoke. We're not going to go over weight loss in this video or weight things related. I will say one thing and one thing only. I'm the fattest I've ever been. But we're just going to discuss how the wedding went, how the honeymoon went, and I'm just going to play catch up with you guys. I am on my way to Costco, so I probably have about 10 minutes to chat with you guys, which will probably be more than enough time. So I'm so sorry that I have been absent from YouTube. I uploaded the sneak peek highlight video for the wedding. Thank you for all the kind responses. I only got one rude response, which was not the Miss Trunchbull hair for your wedding. I thought my hair looked nice. It was originally going to be down, and the day of the wedding I decided to put it up, and I'm super glad that I did. Anyway, back to it. It's just been a whirlwind. It has been an absolute whirlwind. I flew out to Jersey on the 21st of August, I think, and was staying at a hotel and running around doing everything under the sun for the wedding. I had my bachelorette party. We did the Friends experience. I uploaded that video. Sorry, it was so long. I took a lot of pictures. And that was amazing. It was the best bachelorette party I possibly could have had for myself. That was top notch. Perfect. Capped it off by lunch at TGI Fridays the next day. It was great. But I ran around. I got DIY stuff done. I got some visiting done. I didn't visit with my parents as much as I would have liked, but I was a little busy. I was a little busy. There was the drama with Dave's flight in, so that was fun. But the day of the wedding, let's just go straight to that, because that was the last time you really saw me talk to you guys, was a couple of hours before I got hitched. So we arrived at the venue, and it was kind of like a rough day outside. It was kind of like it is now. It was cloudy, overcast, warm, because Delaware in August. I stayed in the hotel room with my friend Lisa, and then Dave stayed at his parents' house the night before. He was like, why can't I stay in the hotel room? I'm like, because nothing is traditional about our relationship. I'm keeping the whole you're not allowed to see me before the wedding thing traditional. He was like, fine. So Lisa and I got up and we're getting ready. My phone did not stop. I mean, did not stop the entire morning. Finally, I was like, Jesus, Mary and Joseph. She's like, give me your phone. I was like, what? She goes, give it to me. She's like, if you don't give it to me, I'm going to pry it out of your cold, dead hands because I will murder your face. So I gave her my phone. I was like, just do me a favor. Text Dave. Let him know that if he needs me to call you. And she's like, all right, I can do that. So he put up a thing on Facebook that was like, hey, Erin's phone is gone. It was taken away from her. If you need anything, get a hold of me or a bridesmaid, something. Do not contact Erin. So that was nice. But we had a couple things. Dave said he needed balloons, but we couldn't find any. He's like, it's not a big deal. I didn't know what he needed balloons for. I would later find out. We get to the venue and it starts to pour. Absolutely pour. I don't think your car is supposed to be there, bud. Oh, there was an accident. It starts to pour while we're getting ready. And when I do walk in, I'm talking to somebody, I don't remember who it was, and I just feel a tap on my shoulder and I turn around and Amanda's right there. I was like, oh my God! And I will put the picture of us in. But she was like, oh my God! The cutest hug. She is just amazing. If you ever get to meet Amanda, just keep in mind she is fantastic. She is an absolute amazing person. But we got there, we were, moving around, doing our thing, and it starts to rain. I'm like, what the hell? And Jenny, who is Amanda's, they were my photographers, it was Amanda and Jenny. And she's like, it's supposed to break. I checked the weather. We're supposed to be good. I was like, okay, perfect. So it did. It broke. Till about 10 minutes before our ceremony started. And when I tell you hurricane force winds and rain, I'm not joking. So we get everybody inside, and then it stops raining. And, you know, the wedding planner comes up and she's like, do you guys want to do it inside or outside? I'm like, what's the forecast? She's like, it looks like it's clear. I think we're good to go. I'm like, it's up to Dave, whatever. She goes, okay. Dave pulled rank. He's like, we're going to do it outside. So we get everybody outside. It starts to pour again. So we get everybody back inside. I'm like, you know what? At this point, we're 2 hours behind. 2 hours. 2 hours behind. For somebody who has massive anxiety when they are late, this is beyond me as to how I wasn't freaking the hell out. The caterer actually said to my friend Leanna, I don't know how she's so calm. And I'm like, I didn't care. Like, I cared, but like, I just wanted to marry him. I didn't care when it happened. So we wait. It's a whole thing. We finally get married outside. We got married outside, like under this canopy thing where I didn't have music to walk down to. The guys didn't walk out to any music. There was no like recessional, nothing. And it was kind of annoying. And I even said to Dave last night, I was like, you know what? The more I think about it, the more I'm pissed off that we put all that work. Like, I was supposed to walk down the aisle to an instrumental version of Part of Your World. The girls were supposed to walk down to a violin version of Can You Feel the Love Tonight? The guys were going to walk down to Apocalyptica's cover of a Metallica song. I don't remember what it was. And we were supposed to walk out to the Star Wars Throne Room song. When I tell you that is the first song that we picked out, I'm not kidding. Like, I mean, immediately. I don't even think we were engaged for like a month. And he's like, I want to walk out to this song. And I was like, okay. Because, like, you know what? I learned this very early on. You pick your battles when it comes to the wedding stuff. I didn't care. Like, I did not care. But none of that happened because I literally had like a 15-foot space to walk down. I came out of the bottom of the venue and right around the corner. So that was frustrating. Our entire cocktail hour was pretty much cut. We had hors d'oeuvres served like while we were getting our pictures taken, and we had little cheesesteaks, bruschetta, and tater tot shots. I took one piece of each because I was hungry. I literally did not eat that day. I lie. I had, I think, like 2 pieces of cantaloupe while we were getting ready. And I had pretzel bites because I had gotten pretzel bites to put on the table. And I was by myself for a little while upstairs at the venue. And, honey, no. While I was up there, I was like pacing and like popping pretzel bites. I had maybe like 4 or 5. So the cheesesteak was almost raw and cold. The tater tot felt like it had just defrosted on the countertop. Like, it was that cold. And the bruschetta was good. Our food for the wedding was not the same food that I tasted, and I'm so mad about it. I'm not gonna get any money back over it, but like, it's definitely not the same food that I was provided. I don't know if it was like a bait and switch thing or what, but the macaroni and cheese had no flavor. The meat was all right. The only thing that was really good was the Alfredo sauce and the red sauce. That's it. It was very mediocre food. Our cake, on the other hand, was delicious. Absolutely delicious. But we got our pictures taken and we went upstairs. We had our dances with our family and we opened up the floor to everybody to have dances. And I got some great shots. Like, there's a picture from Jenny and Amanda that I love. Like, it's a shot from the top part of the venue. So I had like a loft looking down of me and Dave dancing, and just like the way my dress is formed, and it's just, everything was like superbly perfect with that picture. I love it. I'll put it in. What Dave needed the balloons for was our entrance as Mr. and Mrs. for the first time. I will preface this. Our wedding song was the theme song from Up, that Married Life. And every time I think about it, I start to cry. He got a walker with the tennis balls on the end and the big glasses, and he was going to have balloons coming from the walker. And it broke my heart that it didn't work out the way that it was supposed to. We walked out to Fantasmic's opening theme, which was a surprise for me. And we went right into the wedding dance, and it was a really, really good time. There were a couple like minor things that happened that pissed me off. Like I had bought all these bowls to put the dips for the pretzel bites in, and the wedding planner never put the dip in the bowl, and that made me mad. But like, whatever. I just took them back to Crate and Barrel and got my $45 back. But it was just so much fun, and to have people that like I knew be helping with the wedding. Like my friend Leanna married us. A guy I went to high school with did the DJing. Amanda and Jenny did the photography. Our cinematographer was great. It was just so much fun. And then we ended the night with a sparkler exit where a lot of her family left early. We had 7 people that were that didn't come. One was because of a COVID positive test, which was fine. Like, stay the fuck home. Others, we had a food poisoning, a COVID, somebody just didn't bring a guest, and then 2 that just didn't show. So it is what it is. It's kind of common for weddings, I think. It was great to see a lot of people that like I have not seen in years, like years since we moved. And I mean, we've been down here almost 5 years. Oh my God. But we had the sparkler exit, which I don't really remember much of. Like, I remember getting told that it was time for everybody to leave, and I was like, oh, okay, like, where's all my shit? They were like, don't worry about it. Your stuff's in the back of the SUV, because we rented an SUV to, like, whisk us away. Because my dress was not going to fit in the rental car that we had. We had a Kia K5. It wasn't going to fit. And the wedding planner was like, I'm going to count to 5. I'm going to open the doors, and you're going to run out. We were like, all right. She opened the doors. It was nothing but light, because I had the sparklers on both sides. We had the cinematographer's light. I had the photographer's light. We ran. Somebody yelled, kiss her. He kissed me really hard, threw his arms up in the air. We were in the car, and that was it. And then I just remember Amanda knocking. She's like, I love you so much. And gave me a huge hug. And that was my wedding. It was very, very, like, whirlwind. Everybody is very correct. It goes super fast. We came home on Saturday. Oh, I didn't even tell you this. When we did the ceremony, Leanna gets to the ring part, and Brandon hands Dave his ring. And I'm like, where are mine? Because I didn't have them. The photographers took them for pictures, and I hadn't seen them since. And Brandon goes, what do you mean? I thought you had them. I'm like, no, I didn't. Nobody knew where my rings were. So Leanna was like, and like took hers off and put it on my finger. And I was like, what happened? I think the photographers took them and put them in the venue where the guys were getting ready, like that part. And nobody grabbed them. So it was whatever. But it was something. We come home Saturday. Sunday, we just kind of hung out at home. And I'm like, listen, I want to go to Disney. And he's like, just price it. For the love of God, just price it. And I'm like, okay. And I priced it, and we agreed that it was a decent price for what we were getting. And Monday, we got up, we got a rental car, because originally we booked a Southwest plane ticket. So I called Costco, and I was like, hey, can you fly us out of Orlando instead of Pensacola? They're like, yes. It was like $30 to change it. I was like, take my money. So Southwest had a good flight that got us there at like, I don't know, 9 o'clock Monday night, because we had to wait because Dave needed to get a COVID test for Hawaii. So we booked the Southwest trip, and 2 hours later, like as we're packing to leave, I got a text message that was like, you've been rescheduled. And they had rescheduled us from leaving on Monday to leaving on Tuesday. And I'm like, that doesn't work. Because our plan was to get there late on Monday, go to Magic Kingdom Tuesday, Hollywood Studios Wednesday, leave out of Orlando on Friday. Or I'm sorry, on Thursday. So I'm like, this isn't going to work. So I call Southwest. I'm like, you got to cancel the flight. I'm like, I can't, because they canceled it due to the hurricane, which was nowhere near us. And they were like, it's within 24 hours. We can cancel your flight. No problem. I'm like, perfect. So I looked at Hertz. We wound up renting a car because I was like, I'm not going to have them fly us back in Orlando and then drive back up. He's like, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. I looked to see what a one-way rental would be for like 2 days or for 1 day. And it was like $400, but for 3 days it was like $250. So we booked a car, rented that, drove that down. It wound up being cheaper than the flight, but we got up Monday morning, went and got the rental car, went to Target, went and got his COVID test, and then we arrived in Disney, I think at like, I don't know, it had to be after midnight. And then we did the park for 2 days. We stayed at Wilderness Lodge. We were upgraded to a fireworks view room, which was great. And then we went to Hawaii, where we also upgraded to first class for the long leg of the trip, which was out of Denver. And then I did it again for the way back. But Hawaii was amazing. We were looking at real estate while we were there. Like, we want to move. It's beautiful. I'm already trying to figure out how we can get back. You know, it was just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Let me know if you guys want to see like a honeymoon vlog. And honeymoon pictures and whatnot. I had a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. And like, we're so happy to finally be married. Oh, getting back to the wedding, our last song was Somewhere Over the Rainbow by the Izzy, the Hawaiian version. And then it went into Hawaiian Roller Coaster Ride for the what's it called? Sparkler Exit. But Leanna said to me, because after the wedding we just went, like, anybody that was at the hotel went to the bar. And Leanna was telling me, she's like, I've never seen anything like it. She's like, you just melt into him. I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, when you guys were dancing, she's like, it was just the two of us on the dance floor. She's like, you just melt into him. Like, everything you have is just on him. She's like, you just melted. I was like, well, yeah, because he's like the only person that, like, I feel, and I don't want to say like I feel absolutely comfortable around, because I obviously feel comfortable around like my family, my friends, but like, he's just everything. And I just let him, like, I'm super vulnerable around him. There's no walls up, anything, which as it should be. I mean, it's my freaking husband. But it was so beautiful. Like, I loved our wedding. It was very us. It was very us. Like, his song with his mom was the Muppets version of Bohemian Rhapsody. So that'll tell you about our wedding. And there was no line dancing. The only thing that was acceptable was the Macarena. My brother-in-law, Devin, who I say this every time I talk about him, he's like one of my favorite people on this planet. I friggin' love that kid. And he requested the Time Warp, so that was played. Where was I? Oh, I was in the Babe Cave, which is where they say is like the bridal getting ready area. So I was exhausted. I just needed like 5 minutes. But, and my dress was really hot. So, like, I was thick. But there was no other line dancing. There was a conga line. Dave made me do a conga line. But it was fantastic. It was unapologetically us, which is nice. I have to go to Hobby Lobby because I got to get some yarn, and then I got to go to Costco. And it is now 9:30, so I want to go in there. Thanks for listening to my story about my honeymoon. Oh, we are officially married. I drove the marriage thing over to Baldwin County Probate Court. Because in the state of Alabama, all you got to do is sign a form and get it notarized. You don't even need to have a ceremony. So I feel bad. Leanna didn't even need to get ordained. I'm going to go into Hobby Lobby. I will talk to you guys later.